millennials now own
Larry, no.
our economic system.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if the boomers can do it, why can't we?
Exactly. Who cares if they have like thousands times more money, money than us, and
Eat the rich.
Economic connections. And
Oh god, we're getting political. No, we gotta stop. We gotta stop. That's bad. The algorithm gods don't like it when you get political, unless it aligns with their beliefs. That's actually true, by the way. It's really messed up. But anyway.
Did you see that? Did you see that TikTok about the sugar-free Red Bull?
No, but did you see the thing about a community on FNF got banned for stream sniping?
I did.
Yeah. So if you're on the server for FNF right now, and I know some of you are, and one of you already just said you're logging off because we're about to start, get off, because we're about to start, and I would hate to see more communities get banned, even though we have plenty of extra people to fill those slots. I don't like putting people in bad situations, so please, don't stream snipe. Get some help.
Stop it. Get some help. So we are here on the map screen just waiting to get the final push in, as it were. We have a nice little small-ish AO for Red.
What does that mean, camp?
I'm sure they could hold all three fairly comfortably, but we'll see once we get in.
It's a well-sized AO, but we'll see, like, at Terminal 2, for example, what the setup is there. Camp saying, what did he say? You already know I'm getting off, Liru. And well, okay. I don't think you'd want to do that in a Twitch stream. There's other services for that I'm not a part of, but, I know of, and maybe you should go there instead. Because that means he's doing it to my voice, and that's... I already have too many people in my DMs, so I had to enter literally 32 between the previous stream an hour ago and now. So it's like, I'm just trying to keep everything going, but I've been, like, since Monday, working from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m., and then usually later, too, so it's been a pain in the ass. But that's what happens when you want to upload 5 times a day, because it's dumb. But I have a community update video going up at 5:30, which will talk more about that and how I might change YouTube, because I'm going to be doing some analytical stuff and seeing what I need to change for the sake of profitability. But nothing will actually get removed because everything goes to the VOD channel anyway, and that's where I'll direct people to go to view stuff. And the VOD channel is better because it's more content with much less ads, so.
Very true. And you just reminded me that I have to re-export my video for tomorrow because there's a copyright claim on a video game OSD. So
that sucks. And we just got put in a parachute animation for a second before it threw us into the camera here. But otherwise, I heard it from me, but that's okay. Anyway, round 1 has begun. We are on the southern side of Green Mountain. We'll go and render over, and... You okay?
Yep, Terminal 1, when we get to it, you'll see what I mean.
The Minecraft op will not happen for a few weeks, but you'll see some dev stuff in between then, because there's a few different ways we can take that operation, but we can get Minecraft blocks and Steven guns, and that's all we're going to need. But anyway, looks like a little bit of decent going on the server start, but they're being told not to move, and I'm not seeing any desync issues based off the player movement, so that's good. No rubber banding, things will be fine. They're being a little safe though because EU3 crashed last week, and we haven't had a server crash in quite a while actually. So it wasn't even a crash; it was just a desync issue. So they're calling good to move, and now we will get started. So you mentioned the AOs were interesting. So you want to start with the AOs first, and then go to the player sides, or how do you want to do this, Barb?
I'll go over the factions. You go over the AOs.
Okay, cool. Where do you want to start?
We'll start with the attacking force.
All right.
BLUFOR is going to be our typical MRAP Marines and that MRAP Woodland digital camo. Using M4,
classic choice.
M16s. I think a Mark 11 or an SR25 with a marksman rifle.
Yeah.
M249s, M240s, M72 Laws.
Taking my research today.
M3 Carl Gustav rocket launcher for the MAT team.
So what we're probably going to see today is a classic matchup between Marpat Woodland and Russians, because that's usually the two factions people back off of, but they have a lot of assets today as well. What do we got for BLUFOR assets?
So we have a 1117, which is rescripted to, instead of that 40mm, have an M240 and 7.62, so it has a 50 cal and a 7.62 machine gun. Then we have a 113 with a gun turret and a 50 cal on top. Gunner is still exposed, but is pretty well protected. We have an MRAP, one of the, I think the medium ones. Yes, it could probably fit a squad or so back here. Also with a gun turret and 50 cal. 3 bench transport Humvees, which can hold, I think, also 8. So about a squad.
About a full squad.
Yep.
By our standards, though, but FNF, you know, the fire teams are like 6 people apiece, and the squad, like, command element is actually just the squad leader and the medic, so.
That is true. We also have 3 just basic Humvees, nothing special about
Physics
them.
on that are scaring me.
6 big transport trucks.
Excuse me.
The unarmored ones because they have nice wide windows.
Yep.
Also...
they have 2 armed UH-60s.
Yep, 2 Blackhawks.
M134 miniguns. Yep, no pylons.
Machine gun, or sorry, miniguns. No pilots?
No pylons, so no,
Yeah.
you know, rocket pods and stuff on the side.
No, nothing that would be too fun. Can't have that.
Did you mention the 117's GMG is restricted, speaking of fun? Or, excuse me, no fun? Great, yeah.
Yes. It has a HMG and an LMG, essentially, instead of a HMG and a 40mm GMG.
And then they have a MRZR command car, I think, for command to drive around to in something fancy, you know? But otherwise, it's 124 players with a 20% numbers advantage, so that would mean BLUFOR has about 70-ish players compared to OPFOR, who would have the remaining difference, which would be about 54 tops, so those numbers are probably a little skewed.
My last count
probably high 60.
BLUFOR to 54 Red 4.
Gotcha. All right, so just a 10-person number advantage. But with a lot of vehicle assets like these, BLUFOR loses that numbers advantage in crewing the helicopters, the ground-based vehicles, because it takes more than 1 person to crew. So in terms of solid infantry versus solid infantry, I think OPFOR is going to still have a number advantage because they only have 2 BTR-80s. But let's talk about OPFOR. So, Barb, what do we got here?
Yeah. So, Red 4 is already starting to move out, but that's fine. We still have some people at base to look at.
Yep.
Yes, we do have Russians using 545 AK-74s in their EMR digital...
Oh, Platt, show off your emotes.
Yeah, 545 AKs, 762 PKPs for the squad level machine gun, an SVD Dragunov for the platoon marksman, or just the team marksman. And then for the machine gun team, we'll have a PKP Pecheneg, also in 762 by 54. And then the MAP team will be a RPG-42 Alamut ranged out to 500 meters.
All right. Barb, I will say you are getting a little quiet. Maybe move the microphone a little closer to your mouth. But as you make that adjustment, there are also 2 BTR-80s on the playing field tonight. Those have 14.5 millimeter, 50-round boxes for those, then 250-round 7.62 PKTs next to it. But they are very slow, and they can easily get taken out by those 50 cals penetrating the armor. There were also 2 static DshKs and a static KOIRD, which are going to mainly be for AAA against those helicopters and also utilizing static positions. Usually, IRL, the KOIRD would be 14.5 millimeter, but for this operation, it's all 12.7. Actually, I take that back. The KOIRDs are still 12.7, but the NSV turrets would be 14.5. Those are like the sit-down version of the KOIRD, but Arma doesn't have any of those rescripted in any of the mods we know, so.
Which is interesting. It's like such a little but also major detail that
yeah,
I think would be
because that bigger caliber, it's an anti-material rifle at that point. It's oh, I'm being told the NSV is also 12.7. My bad then.
With I swear there was one that's like 14.5.
Yeah, there's supposed to be one that's 14.5. I'm thinking of the KPTV on the BTR. That's my bad. All right.
Maybe? I don't know.
No, he's right, because we have the asset in TSB assets where it's a KPTV technical and it has the 14.5 on the back. He's absolutely right. I just always get it confused.
Okay.
You know those cool technicals we have, like the 240 Bravo is like shielded in the back. It's really awesome.
Yeah.
Can't find those anywhere else.
But yeah, like you said, we do have 2 BTR-80s, a bunch of Gaz Tigers, which are essentially like a decently armored Humvee. Some UAZs, or sorry, some Gazes.
For transport and whatnot.
Yeah. Yeah, just a bunch of transport vehicles for them to move around to the 3 terminals with. Looks like we're mainly going into Terminal 1 and Terminal 2, but I'll leave that to you.
All right, so Terminal 1 is an interesting custom composition. They're using the 2020 the 2020 Chernarus maps apartment textures to make a perimeter here and put the terminal on a random floor, third floor, on a random spot in this massive complex. I don't know if this building has any physics to be potentially destroyed by heavy arms, but honestly, Red 4 could just literally put the entire force here.
Yeah, I agree, absolutely. But with custom compositions and buildings, and especially objective buildings like this, usually the mission maker makes them invincible to prevent just that. So we should have a big, prolonged firefight in this.
And they have a drive-in gate to the interior on the eastern side of it. That's a really nice touch, and it opens up to a playground in the middle. That's pretty damn funny.
Yeah, this is a great little attention to detail, apart from like the shed being in front of a big pane, glass window.
Oh, it's fine.
Exactly. But
wait, oh god, look in the shed.
Oh, should I even? Oh. Wow.
They made it Among Us fucking.
I swear, who the fuck made this? I need to.
They made a fucking Among Us blood ritual. Why? Why? What? And the body actually, like, swivels on the lamppost. What? What the actual... Larry told me there was, like, 290 people watching, too. No. No. Oh, my God.
The imposter is sus. Thank you, German.
There's a fucking blood trail coming out of it, too. What? What?
That's interesting.
Yeah, I love FNF Easter eggs, but good God, that's the most terrifying one I've seen. Usually Night Owl does them, but wow.
Jesus.
Wow.
Ritualistic Among Us.
Yes, the door will open, so I just...
Jeez. But yeah, so that's terminal one. With the terminals and the terminal game modes, the attacking side knows exactly where it is, but because this is a 3-story building, they need to...
Yeah, they'll still have to go up and check all the stories, exactly.
They know where it is.
And OPFOR is actually developing a lot of fortifications on the rooftop to make use of the 4th floor because it's got the best overwatch on all the areas. But I would say, out of all the AOs I've seen terminal defenses on, this would probably be like one of the best I've seen. And OPFOR can spend a lot of manpower not only fortifying the buildings itself, but making an outer perimeter with some of the rest of the town in some of the blocks.
And they
on the street.
Keep obvious routes open. They can't like block off roads or anything like that. They must, always allow access, but they can't.
Yeah, so they gotta keep the
sides of roads and stuff like that, and in alleyways.
Yep, and especially on the rooftops as well. But all right, that's Terminal 1. Let's look at Terminal 2.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh shoot, that's still showing. Can you start on Terminal 2? I have the not connected to TeamSpeak thing. I gotta remove that.
Gotcha. So Terminal 2 is a lot less grandiose. It's just a few tents in the woods. Like a nice weekend camp, except with military equipment and... I
didn't even notice that. My bad, guys.
...of stuff that Pornhub wiped off their servers. So that's why the USMC are coming.
Well, because of that fire in France on the server room?
No.
Trying to put some logic to your actual joke there, but basically Tent City.
Yes, it's just a few tents in the woods. They're building a nice little fob, or more like an OP construction over on the actual peak of the hill in the southeast. But with BLUFOR attacking from the northwest, I don't know how good that's going to be unless they can knock some of these trees down.
Yeah.
Then.
I mean, I have noticed OPFOR has actually been setting up guys on the, these far ridges. I guess that's just some overwatching elements, but I don't know. I think this would actually be a decent explosive trap objective because you can put the explosives satchel in the corner, not directly on the terminal itself, or you could put it on the outside, 2 explosive satchels, by the tree, because the players are going to be exiting that way and just hover over the detonator, and you're guaranteed to get a few kills. So that's a pretty good AO for one of those traps in my opinion. We have seen some really good explosive trap plays over the past few months, but
oh yeah,
I don't know if we'll see it today.
And throw them. I still love that.
Yeah, the ace throwing option for it, but I mean for something like this, all you need because you'll get the prompt of when the the terminal will be hacked, quote-unquote, you can just hover over the detonate all option, and when you get that prompt, you can just immediately let go and guarantee to get a few free kills.
Mm-hmm.
But otherwise, I do see that fob you're talking about. Looks...
Yeah, it's decent, getting some good security and good avenues of fire in most cardinal directions. That large bunker on the northern side, that's kind of overwatching the tents to the west, but it's not going to have clean line of sight on the actual objective.
I'm going to be honest about this fob. This is going to give BLUFOR really good eyes on Terminal 1.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, why?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing that they'll be able to see is going to be all the stuff on the roof, but that's going to be, well, where most of the Red Fort players are going to be, because they just really want to be on the roof, I think.
I think they should have just used all the assets from that fob and just fortified Terminal 1 more, because you got to think a few steps ahead, because BLUFOR is probably going to go for that open terminal first, because it's in the open on the edge of OPFOR's territory. It's the easiest one to grab. So,
fortification, Bassbearder's building the Great Wall of Hesco on the first floor of these apartment buildings, and he's having some trouble with it. You got about a quarter of the way through one side of the complex, and then I think he just gave up.
Probably ran out of points, to be perfectly honest, or he has to go around, which is... I don't think there's an exit on this side.
I don't know what he was thinking, but it's Bassbeard, so no one ever knows.
He's not blocking off the side doorway, though, to actually get here, though. He's trying to block these off just for the sake of the windows, but... I can see...
I think that's fine.
I can see, again, the sense in it, but this fob to the north, I don't get it. Because it's just going to give good overwatch for the other two terminals, you know? You shouldn't give your opponent something like that. Especially because if this fob's supposed to guard Terminal 2, then... You know, towards BLUFOR spawn, it makes no sense because there's all this other way to go. I don't get it. I honestly don't get it. Don't get me wrong, it's a good fob though, but...
Yeah, it's a good fob. The head's in the right place, but it's... If they were to build it around the tents, perhaps, maybe lower with those lower bunkers, stuff like that, yeah, then
yes,
that'd be actually good. But like you said, this seems like it's purpose-built just
Lieutenant
to be
Code, welcome to your first
BLUFOR.
stream for FNF.
And then look over Terminal 1. It can barely help Terminal 2.
Yeah.
And
I don't know, like, it gives them good eyes, but this is a lot of fortification things to put down for good eyes, you know? You just need, like, 2 of the Hesco blocks, and then maybe a 3rd one to cover a vehicle for your escape. That's all you need, but this is just way too much. I think BLUFOR is going to use this against them.
Oh, I believe so as well, if they attack here quickly. And mission is starting, so let's see if they move out.
Let's quickly touch on Terminal 3. It looks like it's literally just that standard airbase, but one little additional fortification built to cover the airstrip. I do like that because the airstrip is a good place where BLUFOR could Thunder Run, so this gives them a small counter to do that, but with no dedicated AT, because they only have that one RPG-26. I don't think it would really work in their favor there, but...
Let's see.
I don't see an explosive trap on the terminal either, but OPFOR has a really good spread of defenses here. They don't want to let anything go. They don't want to sacrifice anything. But with this spread, I think they're going to try to find where BLUFOR is going to come in from and try to counter it. And the reason... Yep.
BLUFOR X-Ray is being...
airlifted.
By the hotel.
And some of the ropes snapped, but the other two appear to be fine.
Something's going on with it, that's for sure.
Yeah, that Blackhawk has to make sure it doesn't exceed a speed of 130, otherwise it'll snap the ropes and X-Ray might be in trouble. But what I'm curious is if they fly out of the map boundary, is that going to get the death trigger script because of the out-of-bounds area?
Maybe.
On that vehicle. No, it will, because they're not detected in the helicopter, they're detected in the vehicle, and it counts for the vehicle, so that's why the vehicle isn't doing such a wide berth, but the AO is massive, so it allows for something like that.
Yeah, they're hogging the edge of the map area, so they're not even going outside, so I think they thought ahead of that, or them just not taking any risks.
That's smart. But as I was saying with OPFOR, the reason they have this big spread is they need to find where BLUFOR is deploying their forces, because with BLUFOR having 2 UH-60s and the ability to do tow rope stuff, they can deploy for anywhere they want. So I think OPFOR, what you're going to see is they're going to identify where BLUFOR is coming in from, and then you're going to see forces, let's say Charlie 2 spots BLUFOR's main offensive coming from the west. You're going to see the forces at Terminal 3 potentially send units over. Maybe the BTR for Gamma 1 on the eastern side pull over to the western side, and you're going to see OPFOR try to do a reactive defense strategy to BLUFOR's line. But BLUFOR is separating into 4 different groups here. X-Ray to the south, a squad deployed by the UH-60 to the east, and then 2 different large pincers here coming from spawn with their vehicles. So that's going to put a lot of pressure on OPFOR on all sides and ultimately stretch OPFOR thin. But it's going to come down to how effective OPFOR AT is to destroy BLUFOR's vehicle assets.
Yeah, down here to the south, they're holding a pretty good convoy formation, have the armored MRAP up front as the lead vehicle, and all the transports behind it. They're looking like they're going to be going towards Terminal 1, though how is the bigger question. Terrain doesn't really lend for a good attack from the west. Just to the west of Viborg itself is a huge open field, almost about half a click long, maybe even more, if they don't maneuver through there right. So this is going to be interesting to see how they come from the west attacking Terminal 1.
One thing I want to bring up as well is look at the amount of vehicles they have brought with them. Everything is... no one's crammed in a single truck. Every group has their own vehicle. When you see a large grouping of vehicles like this, it usually means that the players are thinking about doing some sort of thunder run. Because by dividing your forces among multiple different vehicles, it decreases the chances of you suffering high casualties because you have less people across more vehicles, which gives the enemy faction more targets to shoot at, and thus, hopefully, minimizes your losses. But they're, I think, stopping in this area to potentially dismount. The other pin's already dismounted on the northwestern side of Northwest Airfield, and they might come in on foot, I think, trying to use the forested area of the left side of Northwest to get all the way down to Terminal 3 and even branch off and hit Terminal 2. That's a really good play by that northern pincer. So I'd assume the southern pincer is going to try to thunder run Terminal 1.
Up at Terminal 3, we do have that group up there. I think they might have seen the Blackhawk.
Noah, thanks for converting your Prime sub to a Tier 1 sub twice. I hope you keep enjoying everything, man. I hope you're going to kick out of this. Jimbo, how you doing?
Verso, Ruby, Sam, all kind of looking in that easterly direction. Just so I think something drew their attention over there, which would be the Blackhawk.
We are seeing that eastern BTR starting to go south, though. I don't know if OPFOR spotted the BLUFOR vehicles coming in. But I do see them, having binos and looking out in that direction. There is a lot of open areas, as you previously said, but BLUFOR, I think, knows this and is stopping short. So I think they're going to open up with having the Blackhawks do distractionary efforts in the center and try to pull eyes away from BLUFOR's advances and move up from there. But I think we're also going to see a stagnation of the western pincer because they're going to time the northern pincer coming down on foot. And then once they start taking contact, we'll probably see this western pincer do a thunder run because there's no way from that angle that they would be able to send troops up into Terminal 1. It has to be a thunder run strategy because it's just open field all around.
Yeah, and even with these guys to the east of the airfield, they're still going to have to cross a big open field, essentially, just made out of tarmac instead of forest and plains.
So I could see the... Oop, hold up, we just had a shot. Was that... I think that was just an accidental discharge there of the rifle, but... Yeah. Because there's no way Terminal 1 would see BLUFOR's forces. There's 2 tree lines in the way off their angle. So it's very unlikely to be able to penetrate that, but... let's see, I do see Navy looking in that direction with binos, but he's looking a little to the right, but he does have a PKM gunner ready to go. That's really good to help stop thunder runs, but we'll just have to see how it goes. But anyway, what was I going to say? I was going to touch on what you said about the open tarmac here. You're right, that squad did deploy. It is Charlie for BLUFOR, specifically their weapon team and their mat gunner, which is their reloadable AT. Scandy. Yep, is it Scandy?
Yep, Nemesis, Az, Nafs, Malin, Reaper.
Trying to get a click there.
TSB and Scandy in a whole.
Yep, they combined in a group, and they also have Lord Dust with them, who is one of the commanding officers who joined up on their group. So
yeah, he would either be one of the platoon HQs or command itself.
yeah, I think he is command itself. But real quick, you're hearing the UH-60 starting to do long-range distractionary runs, hitting into Terminal 1's large compound there to try and distract OPFOR to look up. That is a good indication that they're going to start trying to run interference on the Terminal 1 site to pull eyes up instead of out in the open for BLUFOR to do a thunder run. So we'll be watching that very closely. But with Charlie 2 here, you're right, there's a big open area. There is one benefit, though, with the Northwest Airfield that involves riding the outer perimeter fence between the solid one and the fenced one and coming around on that side. It gives you a lot of good cover and concealment to get right on top of that objective, and I think OPFOR knows about it because they've set up a few, they've actually set up a whole team to watch against that angle. So I'd be willing to say we're going to see Scandi Recon use that route, because any other route is very, very risky, but they might be joined by forces from the northwest coming in to help pull eyes away from that sector. So we'll just have to see, but minimizing the open ground that you would have to transverse through is very critical to winning this scenario. But I'm already seeing Scandi Recon starting to move to the southeast here, as if they're going to start following that path.
We do actually, just on the eastern tip of the airfield, we have Naps and Malin in a little two-man team doing some recon of the airfield and just seeing what they have to deal with on the other side of this airstrip. So yeah, once they spot that, I think they're going to do that southern route, yeah.
They have Malin operating as the Charlie 1 machine gunner with that 240 Bravo, so they're going to use this large open area as basically a kill zone to also draw fire, and more importantly, eyes away from southeast, and I think they're going to potentially time that with the infantry coming up. But being on that edge early on with actually the northwestern pincer has stopped short. I think they're waiting for a new order for now, but it's... I don't know why they've stopped moving, because that means they're waiting on someone else, but it appears that everyone else is close to being ready for whatever they need to do, so we're just waiting on the northern pincers. That's weird. I got that BTR pulling back as well.
They only have one shot at this, so I guess they want to really make it right.
But timing... Go ahead.
I was going to say, yeah, we're less than 10 minutes into this. They have plenty of time to work with, so... pacing yourselves out early on could be impactful later on, but go ahead.
So timing for this is going to be absolutely critical for this operation, because they need to encircle this area and all go in at once to get that shock and awe factor. If one flank goes in before the other ones are ready, then... it's just going to mean OPFOR is going to send forces to deal with that flank, tear that flank apart, and then by the time the other flanks go in, it's going to re-send the forces from the previous flank to different ones and be able to hold. We saw this work very much to the defenders' favor when I did OFCRA yesterday. BLUFOR completely encircled the objective, but then only sent one flank at a time, and they got torn apart, even though they had the numbers advantage going in. And the balance of power shifted from the attackers to the defenders because they did something like that.
Instead of being more unified, they almost, pieced themselves out to the enemy. Interesting.
Half the watchers are bots. Lamau.
Advancing to the corner of the airfield. So they might start walking down
BTRs going back to Terminal 3.
Side of it towards Terminal 3. Could still divert over to Terminal 2 as well.
Now we just wait. Yeah, the second BTR going up to Terminal 3, staying defensive. We're also seeing a car, which has Platoon 2 HQ, also driving around. I will admit, OPFOR's done just a really good circle of defense here, but I don't think it's going to be able to hold. And interesting enough, Scandi Recon is breaking away from the outside. They're going to try to... That's really risky. They're going to try to go through the open fields, getting to the various tree lines to potentially come back behind Terminal 1, or they're going to use this open area to try a different angle on Terminal 3. And we have X-Ray also to the south, also getting eyes on the rear of Terminal 1 too, maybe in communication with Scandi there, but that's... I don't know. We also have a truck from the west, it's the M2 MRAP driving up close to a barn. They're going to see the 2 quad bikes that X-Ray took to get up here. And one of, it's Dryden, who's the side marksman for OPFOR. He's in a chimney.
Yeah.
I don't, clipping into buildings to hide yourself, I don't think that's legal.
So he's actually inside the chimney, yeah?
Yeah, and the other guy is also inside the chimney.
Yeah, I remember. I think this is a good spot used in, like, DayZ and shit.
Yeah, but...
Back when it was OA, but...
For
yeah,
PvP...
That's a little...
And you even have the gunner looking up there to make sure, but...
Just to be sure, but...
That's a little gamey, if you ask me. Who is that up there? That's Dryden and Rudd from 4IB. Like, I get it. Don't get me wrong. I get the strategy. I get using every advantage you have, but...
Exactly.
FNF, it's not as competitive as a lot of people believe. It's just meant to be like casual PvP, because there's not really any official tracking of any stats and whatnot. Oh, they still spotted it. Hold up.
No,
Nope, they're shooting out the quad bikes. All right.
Yep, taking the quad bikes.
I don't know.
I'm with you, though.
You have those UH-60s firing overhead again. Oh, no! There's the Thunder Run! They're Thunder running up to Terminal 2!
Well, here's the thing. Who is this here? Ash was on the, one of the DshKs shooting up at the UH-60.
Yeah?
So that's drawing that fire away, drawing that attention away. But yes, the Thunder Run is going in for Terminal 2, actually. That's not what I would have expected, but here they go.
See, because what's going to bug me here is the marksman, when he thinks it's safe, he's going to come out and boop the gunner. And we just had some AT come out from the eastern hill. It was a miss, though. That was the RPG gunner, though. Another rocket just went out, hits the barn. Oh, if they collapse the barn, though, that the guys are on top of, that's going to be pretty funny.
Or just collapse on top of the fork there.
Yep. So a hail of bullets coming out.
Yep. Just coming out of the woods.
And by the way, BLUFOR has dismounted on that Thunder Run. There's a few OPFOR forces intermingled, actually just one from the looks of things. And
yes,
and the BTRs are also coming out.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they're
what the heck?
A storm right now.
Yeah.
Trying to react to this and bring in these...
Oh, Bravo 1 just tried to Thunder Run up to the barn, but they hit the barn and just bounced off the damn thing, so now they're doing a dismount in the open.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, they're a little exposed, but will these guys in the chimneys open up?
Yeah, I'm gonna, like...
If you go to the first person, they can see everything outside of that chimney. That is probably the gamiest part of it.
Okay, no, that's gamey as hell. RPG comes in, blows up the truck. Yeah, I'm gonna reach out to Nemesis between rounds and ask him about that.
It's
like again, I don't want anyone to get banned, but that's very because look, he's shooting from the chimney.
Yep.
He just gave a shot.
They can see everything inside of it. Like, nah, I'm with you. And that's a marksman too, so that's
so he can just headshot people. Yeah, I'm against that. And anything that reminds me about CCO7's tactics, I'm against that.
that's a good, healthy way to do it, I think. UH-60s now doing orbitals on the apartment complex.
Yeah, you're having the 113 use its smoke generator to distract that little fob that's been created. But for context, CCO7 was a large PvP event I went to where I commanded BLUFOR, but OPFOR used every metagame tactic in the book to spawn camp us for 3 out of the 6 hours of the event, so... Ay. Did the pilot get shot out?
Yes, G-Legs is the pilot. He is dead. Someone just hopped back in the pilot seat, or I think the co-pilot seat, but yeah, G-Legs is dead as a doornail.
So, co-pilot's taking the controls up. Great marksman shot.
Yeah.
Probably by one of the...
Yeah, it was Ash in the 12.7 DshK.
I have no idea what that is, but there's Terminal 2's hack started. This flank is going to be joined by the QRF from that other position. That 113 doing its best to put the smoke generator down to mess with this checkpoint. We just had an explosive charge go off and do some pretty nasty damage here. Cholt went down, but Guy Fieri's going to go over and try to run medical on him. So great explosive trap use there. But let me click on these guys. Cholt wakes back up. Pointman, Legal Action, and Coda are all dead in position back here. That one RPG guy that was here, I think, took them out. UPSC is where those guys are from, and they are the only faction I know of that can really contend with Scandi Recon, so they're very, very good players. But now we have Scandi Recon. They've gone back on that perimeter wall I was talking about, and they're actually starting to run in to try to take Terminal 3 here, as you still have the UH-60s running orbital here.
Scandi does see the trenches built in the woods by Dark.
CCO is a coalition thing, yeah. No, you're right, Reno.
So they are aware that there's, they see that the evidence of presence in these woods. So
got the 117 also driving around for BLUFOR in between the terminals here. I guess just doing some scouting out. But I would expect to see BLUFOR take this fob that OPFOR dug and start using it as a good overwatch if they detect it. But we still have OPFOR's Charlie 2 putting some pretty nasty pressure on BLUFOR Platoon 1 HQ. And
Mal with his 240 across the airfield now.
Yeah, Platoon 1 HQ lost his battle buddy. You got a truck. It's actually an M2 MRAP driving around. The gunner has been killed, and the BTR is trying to pursue it to kill the driver because the two BTRs are over here.
Yep, and that 14.5 is gonna do some damage to it.
All right, Terminal 2 hack complete. That'll detonate in a moment. Now BLUFOR has to focus on the other two terminals, but these BTRs, using those 14.5 millimeters, are desperately trying to shoot the driver out, and the driver doesn't know where to go. One of the BTRs switching to PKM. If they want to sort to that, they got to aim for the wheels, but the Gamma 1, actually they're both Gamma 1 on the registry, they just shot the engine out on the Vic, and that thing's going to be dead in the water.
Here's the 117 though, opening up from the hill. It needs to stay mobile though.
Yep, because the other one is starting to engage him. Because by remain... Ooh, nope, they were able to shoot out one of the crew of the BTR. They shot out the gunner and the driver.
Yeah, that's dead in the water.
Yep, that's one disabled. 117 might do some overwatch here with that 50 cal. Yep, the driver got out, and he is now ranging for the gun. The 117 might be able to pick off the other BTR here, but 117s in FNF, you always see their capability. Yep, you're right, it is smoking now, but 117s are literally designed to hunt BTRs, especially in FNF. They are more than mobile. They have a 100-round 50 cal M2 turret instead of a 50-round 14.5 millimeter, and 50 cal can penetrate just as well as 14.5 can. And their mobility lets them run circles around the BTRs here. And, I mean, it just got away with sniping both of them out. And the one guy survived. Ghoster, a.k.a. Boston, who we sometimes co-host with, he's going to capture the BTR. I hope he radios that into the other Vic, because he'd be part of that Vic crew net. So hopefully we won't see a friendly fire incident here, but that is great that they're going to repurpose that BTR, because I don't see any engine smoke on it, so they might be able to still use it to their advantage.
And they do have 3 people inside that 117, so Lusad or Mike or one of them can get out and get in the gun of it, and now they have 2 assets, just like that.
Real quick, UH-60 just did a really low pass by Terminal 3. Scandi Recon is starting to engage the Terminal 3 site, getting in a fight with Echo and Delta and Platoon 2 HQ for OPFOR. But we have a distractionary force engaging the force by the Gaz, while the rest of Scandi Recon pushes up to get on top of the objective. And we're also having the 113, excuse me, it's a double 13. The 113 is coming in to do smoke generator stuff. Yep, and OPFOR...
And they're heading out of there.
Yep, the truck, too. They are going to pull out of this region to hold the Terminal 1 site. And I don't think that's a bad call at all. We still have 30 minutes in this round, but OPFOR has done their best to stall out the other 2 areas. And I would assume there is going to be some sort of explosive trap on the field here. If not, it's just wasted opportunity, but... Yep, I see it. It's, if you look outside the building of the terminal, look towards the barracks building, on the corner on the southwestern side, there's an explosive satchel there plain as day. But I think Scandi's going to be able to spot that, but we'll see. Anything's possible.
Barracks buildings. Oh, yeah, I see that. Yeah, that should be able to take out that both those buildings, actually. Yep. It's a very powerful demolition satchel. There's
one satchel going off in the forest by OPFOR. Other ones are going off, but they're early. Oh, they deaded them because they were about to go out of the range of them, so they were just trying to time it. But if they literally waited like 10 more seconds, they might have been able to pick off the first guy coming in on SR, who is Lolo, leading as a TSB member. So unfortunate that was a little premature, but hey, it happens to the best of us, right? Wink.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah.
So otherwise, BTR has driven up to the 117. They have guys getting out of it. They're doing some minor repairs on it because I do see some gunshots in the gun turret itself. So I think they're going to get that up and running. And now with a stolen BTR-80 with that 14.5mm, that's going to be the perfect anti-material rifle to penetrate into the large complex that OPFOR has and try to potentially get some snipes of OPFOR in cover. Not behind the big HESCOs, but, you know, on the 3rd, 2nd, and 1st floor, where OPFOR is trying to divide so they can try to get some overwatch. And we still have these 2 4IB guys in the fucking chimneys. So there is a BLUFOR rifle right next to these chimneys, so I'm willing to bet someone tried to come up here and deal with it, but you can't really... Yeah, so, and then one of them just shot one of the BLUFOR guys to death, but he's in a fucking...
No,
I don't like that. Yeah,
no.
I don't like that at all.
People have been notified. I wouldn't worry about it.
You notified them?
They notified themselves. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
They're in the stream watching.
Gotcha.
Because they like me more than you. But yes, so Terminal 3 is about to be done hacking, and it's all gonna come down to
Terminal 1.
Vibor.
Yeah. I can't kill him. I don't have control of that. Yeah, this is gonna be a cool AO.
Courtyards to shoot across. It's just gonna be hell with those huge windows. And I'm not gonna say equatorial hell because I don't think that's a real term.
I use it because it's from Homeworld Cataclysm, but BLUFOR, if we look at the amount of skulls, there's a good handful of them, but actually it's not too bad overall. But OPFOR also doesn't have too many skulls. They've lost the entirety of their Gamma unit, which was both their BTR crews, but other than that, like infantry on infantry, it's still pretty even. And we have about 21.5 minutes to go with it.
Yep, which
this is round 1. Yeah,
should be plenty of time for them to remobilize and, you know, go the few hundred meters from that terminal by the airfield over to Vibor. But I don't know. They'd have to also come down a hill from coming in from the northeast. They're gonna want to try and thunder run again. That would be my best bet.
Well, okay, hold up.
Factory to the east of town, but
so look at where Scandi Recon's going right now. And if you go look on the ground to where their route is, that's going to lead them to the northeasternmost block, I'm going to call it, of the town. And then from there, they can get into a few buildings and use that to start breaching in. But there still is a nasty bit of open area where we're probably going to see a smoke charge. But
yeah,
there's enough room for BLUFOR to get a lot of forces up here. And if they bring up their vehicles to support and draw fire, especially since they have one of the UH-60s active, the other one I don't see in the AO anymore. It looks like it's actually landed back to the north. But I think we could still see BLUFOR do a really nasty encirclement of this AO, but I think it's going to primarily come from units getting into the town from that northeastern sector and coming in, while the vehicles run interference along different flanks.
Yeah. No, that would definitely be a good way to go at it. I would be careful about the, whatever statics are still remaining in the town. We have one of the dish comes over on the southeast side of things, but as far as the other two, those can all very easily pierce through the armor of the 1117, the 113, the MRAP, if they're even able to get that back online, as well as the BTR that they captured. So anything on the field, those things can really do damage to it. So they got to be careful not to waste their asset. But yeah,
real quick,
gonna be key.
Do you remember what either of the names, guys? The names of the guys that were from the 4i? Okay, no, okay, I'm getting confirmation. They got kicked from the server.
Ooh.
I'm not surprised though. You can't do something like that in a PvP scenario.
That's pretty exploitive.
And anyone that would argue otherwise, I would not want to be in their PvP events. Plain and simple. Because another thing is those chimneys could have physics for ballistics. So if you go inside and it's a one-way ballistic shield, then you're not going to be killable and you can just, pop people in the head, especially if you're the marksman and you do stuff like that. But yeah, no, I just remember they are part of X-Ray, and there's only one guy in X-Ray still on the server, and the other guy is dead, who was not in the chimneys, he was on the ground level. So yeah, just please don't be a jerk. This is all meant to be fun, we have a really cool kick-ass AO here. OPFOR still has a massive chance to win, but BLUFOR is going to spend 4 minutes maneuvering and do this massive push from the east/northeast. You know? Please don't ruin other people's fun. That's all I'm trying to say.
Exactly.
Excuse me.
I love all the people on the roof who are just like ambiently watching the Ghost, or sorry, the Blackhawk doing orbitals. There is also up here, the KOIRD is up here on the roof as well, so that's 2 statics that I found. Still looking for that third. So if someone were to get on that,
2 DshKs and a KOIRD are at play.
To clip the wings of that Blackhawk.
So you can't discredit the Blackhawk's miniguns because I have seen from massive ranges the Blackhawk guns be super effective. I remember our the first time we introduced Lagasola in FNF, I think it was Dreams and his gunner on this massive rocky compound got like 3 kills from at least 700 meters up on top-down orbitals with that 134. And it just goes to show you the accuracy some people have with a weapon platform like that, especially since you have to lead your shot from the helicopter and still be accurate with it. Granted, a top-down hit from the 7.62 is going to insta-kill anyone in the head, but just the fact that you're accurate with it from that far up is incredible, which is why...
really vertical orbitals now coming down on Joseph Stalin and Navy. I don't know if they got hit, but you can see those tracers landing, I mean...
very close.
Oh, one just hit SCS there, the medic. He got shot in the leg. But yeah, if you know, those shots were landing next to me, yeah, I'd be
panicking.
I'd be pissing my pants. I wouldn't care if they were 22 long rifle. If they were making that kind of noise and that kind of volume.
Oh yeah, PvE is different because you're not shitting on anyone's fun, but PvP, where you're directly shitting on other people's fun, is where I draw the line. Yeah, so we got people literally jumping down the roof to the 3rd story. Some are also climbing down that ladder. We hear that KOIRD opening up. No, that's the DshK, you're right. It's reloading.
Ash is on it now. Yep.
See, but it's really good.
Originally.
Oh, also, someone found the cursed room because the door's open.
Nice.
Oh my god. I'm half tempted to turn TFAR on and listen to BLUFOR and see them, like, walk in there and just say, what the fuck, you know? Like,
yeah.
Someone's gonna say something. The fun is mandatory. Yeah, but these helicopters are very far up, and they're still being very accurate with things. But you have Scan Your Recon open up from that block. As I said, they would move into this sector. And you got the 240 gunner Malin is trying to pick off, who is that? Shib, who is on the tower with that PKM. There's some return fire coming from Omega, and Manford might join him momentarily. But OPFOR has dug a really nice defensive line in preparation of this push, and has a really nice line of forces here to try to defend against that. Mazround just went up on that tower.
Yep.
And the PKM is opening up, trying to get some pickoffs. We also have a rifleman. Buckets is down by the chimney. And we also just had Infidel get picked off, potentially by that PKM barrage.
Now Scandy, yeah, they've kind of hunkered down a little bit.
Collins, I don't know off the top of my head.
I think.
Ask again when we're in intermission. I'll try to get that answered for you.
Southwest now at Pustoshka. We have a bunch of vehicles now coming up.
This worries me.
Boop and Vlad are all kind of walking around, making sure the area is clear. But yeah, looks like they're mounting up for another thunder run coming from the south.
BLUFOR's scaring me though. Look at the amount of forces that are charging to the barn in this open area, and look at the fact that BLUFOR still has its VIX over to the northwest.
Yes, they've been working on getting them all up and running, I think. But
it's too little too late, though, because BLUFOR's already attacking, you know? Like, there was still time on the clock here. We still have a little under 20 minutes.
I don't think that they've really committed too much to the attack, because like you were mentioning earlier, that big gap is still there between the factory and the buildings there and the town proper. So as long as they're on this side of things, I think that's going to be like the border on if they're committing or not.
Because you're probably not, because it's very competitive to get a slot in the first place.
This compound and behind those brick walls, but otherwise I think that like if those vehicles still were to come in from the northwest, which looks like they are moving now, the north and the northwest, that would draw enough fire off of them so that they can smoke and charge and move as chaos just unfolds, especially with the UH-60s still doing those orbitals.
Hey, Player for Gaming, thanks 100 bits. Hope you enjoy your stream, man. First stream. It is an intense one. So we are seeing rooftop garrisons getting picked off. We have, it's not telling me who that is. Our right from 4IB is down. Next to him is a dead body of his, no, actually he got picked off the KOIRD gun. And OPFOR doing their best to hold, but there's a lot of fire coming in. OPFOR doing a good job, though. I've been seeing them switch from position to position. That PKM gunner on the tower, though, is taken out. And we're seeing a lot of smoke here as BLUFOR is starting to do that smoke charge, as I predicted. And we also have Alpha One, who charged up with the Humvee, now getting the low ground here. And they are contending with Green Thumb, who is trying to stop them. But he has taken a lot of HE rounds as this advance happens. So if BLUFOR is able to get past these open areas and get right on top of the objective, I don't think OPFOR is going to have a chance. But if OPFOR is able to continue holding the way they are with their spaced out defenses, I think they're going to be able to clutch it, mainly because BLUFOR has not fielded those vehicles yet. But that is going to change in a minute, because I do see that they are starting to move in.
Yeah, we have, I think those are both the BTRs. No, it's the BTR and the 1117 up to the northeast now. Look at that third one.
Ash might have just gotten a pickoff kill with that DshK.
In the southwest. They're actually kind of splitting it up.
Green Thumb's down.
More than I thought they'd be.
Yeah, I'm a little worried about seeing this, because if they keep splitting off across multiple angles, and OPFOR has a really nice concave defense here, focused on the east, but also extending to the southeast and the northeast, I think BLUFOR is just going to meet too much resistance on every side and just get whittled down, compared to if BLUFOR fielded their vehicles in from this angle, or had a rear group come in. They could potentially catch OPFOR with their pants down, but because they're committing to this one side, OPFOR is able to commit all of their defenders on this side as well, and they just might be able to bounce BLUFOR back.
Pretty sure Sam just finished off one of his teammates with the GL.
Amazing. Blue on blue happens a lot in FNF. It's surprising, though, because you can always open the map and see in real time where every single friendly is and see if they're unconscious or not.
I don't think it was intentional as far as, like, mis-PIDing, but I think it landed too close to the unconscious body and killed it when it was near enemies, but...
That's understandable.
Yeah, it's just more unfortunate. We do now have the 1117 opening up from the northeast, as well as the BTR not too far away.
Time is... We're actually about to get the 15-minute warning.
And it's seeming a bit thinner around this complex.
By the way, 15-minute warning about to be called in a moment, but I think this will be over before that happens. Look at that. We're seeing a vehicle thunder run through the open fields. The BTR is trying to cover to allow the infantry to get up close. That's going to be a close dismount right in OPFOR's line. Wow, I am surprised Dardis didn't mag dump that truck, but this is going to allow BLUFOR. Oh, no!
There it is.
That PKM gunner. Oh, wait, it's only a single guy in there. We just had an explosive charge go off close to the southern side of the block, but it wasn't enough. And you have X-Ray also pulling in. Yep. I wonder if BLUFOR is going to try to land on the rooftop with that Blackhawk. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, yeah, Platoon 2 HQ went up on their own. Hudson just rushing up to that entrance of things.
15-minute warning. I don't know. It's looking really close on either side. OPFOR appears to be getting a lot of BLUFOR guys in the open fields here, because they still have good overwatch, but BLUFOR is starting to get a few guys in, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Looking at the skull rosters, on the left, we're seeing a little more for BLUFOR compared to OPFOR. OPFOR has more groups that are fully wiped, but BLUFOR has skulls all across the board, except in its vehicles. So I think OPFOR is going to be able to hold, simply because BLUFOR opted for smoke charges on a larger concave than just vehicle thunder runs like what Platoon 2 HQ did. Because had they switched to vehicles instead and gotten behind OPFOR in this massive complex, I think it would have been a different story. But I'm leaning towards OPFOR victory right now, simply because there's just too many guys in the compound itself, and I think they're going to be able to hold out. And those vehicles for BLUFOR were way too late to come in and support.
No, I absolutely agree with you. The more time has gone on, I mean, there's just definitely still a chance they don't need to kill all the Red 4. They just need to get to the terminal and run down the top.
But they have to, based off the angle they've done, they have to get through this massive line of OPFOR, and I don't think it's going to be possible. We might see some BLUFOR guys sneak in, but...
We do have a few inside.
It's going to be tough.
We have Zeus, Armor Buddha. Does Armor Jesus have a friend now? Hudson over there on the north side. Yeah, we have Armored Jesus.
Hold up, you said Armored Jesus was in there. He is one of my top picks right now. He could clutch this on his own.
Armored Jesus is dead. It's Armored Zeus. That's
Oh, I gotcha. All right. Well, he has two kills on himself, so he might be able to do this. Oh, look at that 4IB. Rude tried to come out, and it said he was banned. He was one of the guys in the chimney. Oh God. Amazing.
Armored Zeus might be able to do something, but it's really just going to be more about causing chaos.
Miskov is in here too.
Eastern side now.
Actually, it's Emzakov. I always butcher his name.
A guy drops right above him. He needs to be careful that he doesn't get friendly fired, because there's just a lot of chaos and a lot of fire coming in.
That's pretty funny.
He actually falls through the stairs.
So we do have the 117 starting to get some pickoff kills on OPFOR, and it's forcing him to pull back. We also have one guy doing CPR. It's the 4IB guys trying to do that. But BLUFOR also encroaching, but OPFOR doing some counterattacks on them. Ooh, hold up. We're about to see Cholt potentially come around and get some pickoff kills. He has an enemy weapon, and we just had some fire come from within the building, so Cholt might come around now and try to sweep these two guys, but he does have an enemy weapon, so that audio PID is going to get a little confusing. I am noticing a little bit of desync, though.
Yeah, I'm noticing it too.
That's Guy Fieri in the building with King, two really good players, but Cholt doing a massive wide berth here, but he might catch these two guys out of position. They dropped the RPG-26. I think Cholt's going to be able to get two headshots here. There's one, and there's two. Nice. And Kane and Guy Fieri managed to sweep those other two guys, but yeah, that desync is a little worrisome here.
Yep, it's not getting better, but we'll just have to hope that it holds out. The way desync and how that works is that the server like gets too much information and falls behind, so then it has to do extra work to try and catch up.
Yeah.
So it can really easily lead into just a recursive thing like this, where it just and
it looks like it's getting worse though. It's starting to completely slow down. Oh, that's unfortunate, because it looked like BLUFOR was actually starting to get the upper hand here in a last-second clutch.
Absolutely, yeah. They were really breaching into the south side. We have glue.
There's full desync.
As well as another fire team or so on the south side poised to breach in. Oh, caught up a little bit for a second. Yeah, Liru, do you know where the EU server for FNF is located? You sure?
I do not.
Fire too?
As far as I know, that one didn't catch fire, no.
Yellow chain.
Yeah, that might be it. What a bad way to end the first round. I mean, it looked like BLUFOR was able to bounce back because the vehicles finally started working in their favor, but I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, I love Sparky. Sparky's been on this weird, like, sour grapes, like, validation thing where he's like, yeah, this is why I don't, rent a server. I just self-host it because of things like this. It's like, no, it's because you're too cheap. You're a cheap spam. You don't want to fucking pay for a server, so you just dug up one from your closet from 2003, and you're going to try and pass that off as a fucking self-dedicated server? You fucking...
Normally what causes these desync spikes, though, is something runs into an error that has to render for everyone, and it causes a backlog of things for the CPU to render before it puts them on the clients. But the way this one happened was it was just a general slowdown of everything, and nothing exploded, nothing crashed out. And I don't mean to sound suspicious, but that's usually one where something gets DDoSed.
I'm not gonna say you're wrong. I just think that is a kind of a loaded thing to say at this point.
No, I agree with you in that sense. I don't mean for it to be... There's the red chain. And there's no message received. I think they pulled the plug. But in my experience in doing this for 5 years, usually when you see a slowdown like that and nothing happened, like similar to last week's on EU3. The reason that one had a desync crash out was because the helicopter went in water, and for whatever reason that caused a status access violation that desynced the server out. Here, though, nothing... Both the helicopters are still in the air.
Nothing blew up. It was just...
Nothing blew up. It was just the standard PvP, and usually when nothing warrants a reaction, it's usually because something did a DDoS. But, again, I'm not trying to stoke any fires here. It's just something something might not add up here is what I'm saying. But the server has gone out.
Pull the plug.
We'll see what happens. OPFOR's like, shit, wait, they're coming back. Pull the plug on the server. Shit. Make it a draw instead.
Scandy, yeah.
Scandy, go. UPSC's with them. Oh, wait, actually, that's a good point. UPSC and Scandy Recon were both on the same side.
Hey, that would make some people...
The two top communities. My God. All right, well, that sucks, though, because we haven't had any technical difficulties off an EU for a few months. Well, and then last week, I know, there's the one last week for EU3, and then now there's this one on round 1. Like, what happened? Did ARM update? ARMA did? Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
I think things are being handled.
Oh no. Sorry.